Hello, it's Mr. Baumgarten back with another Pygame video for you. And today I thought we would get some kind of achievement system up and running, or objectives, in the sense of collecting my key and using it to open a lock and having that then trigger some kind of other action. In my case, I'm thinking I might have it open a bunch of doors which I can later program up as portals. You can see here I've got a whole bunch of ice creams down here in this little secret room that you can't get to except through this doorway. So I thought I'd have this door as a secret portal that goes into that door, but I might do that as the next video. But you could use achievements for all kinds of things, like to suddenly have a whole pile of new coins suddenly appear, or some enemies suddenly appear. And so what I've done is I've created a second layer here, which it's currently hidden, but if I unhide it, you'll notice that on that, so basically on that second layer, I've put the tiles for the open doors, and I've placed those over where the closed doors were. And so when I take my blue key and I put it inside the blue lock, I'm going to copy the tiles from layer 2 into layer 1. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to change our code so that we're only drawing the tiles from layer 1 actively within the game, and we'll kind of keep layer 2 there as secret items that we can then copy across later on. So let's get this up and running, shall we? So this is my code from the end of the previous video. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it a backpack. So this is basically the collection of stuff that I've run around my game and collected. And so as my player moves around, so like the blue key, when it touches the blue key, it's going to pick it up and put it in its backpack. And so this is just going to be a list of things that I've collected, and so we can inspect our backpack to see when we're touching particular tiles, we can see is a required item that I need to activate this tile, such as the blue lock, is the blue key inside my backpack. So let's see when we are touching different things that provide elements for us. And you will recall inside our tiles, so if I find my blue lock, we said here that it requires a blue key. We just did that as a string, and then down here on the blue key we said it provides a blue key. And so we're going to just save this string value into that list, and then as we're touching different sprites, we'll check the requires string, and if our backpack contains the matching string, then we can activate whatever special functionality we want for that tile. So to do this, I'm just going to come down to the section where we set up our coins earlier on and our health, and I'm just going to modify this slightly here. I might use this tile X and tile Y variable to see, okay, so to check the coordinates, the location for whatever particular tiles we're using. So I might move this out of just being here in the if statement for the gold coin and make them available. So I'm just going to cut those two lines and paste them up here so that the tile X and tile Y variables are available to the rest of the program. And so here I'll insert a few lines. So we've got it at the moment, if we're touching the gold coin, we go into the layer and we set that gold coin, we turn off that tile, we remove it, we set it to 0. Alright, and so now we're going to look to see, we're going to do a similar thing for if we are touching something that provides some functionality, such as the blue key. So if I am touching something that provides, let's see, if provides is not empty. All right, so if this is going to provide us something, then let's put it in our backpack. So backpack.append, right, because it's a list, whatever we are touching. All right, let's put that. All right, so let's put that string into our backpack, and then we can clear that tile. All right, once we've got the blue key, it no longer needs to be a blue key again, and that's exactly the same code that we had here for the gold coin. So that can be copy and pasted in there. And now we need to check to see our requires stuff. So if touching requires is not empty. Okay, so if we're touching a tile that requires something, we now want to see, is whatever I'm requiring inside my backpack? So if touching requires in backpack, Python's really nice and easy the way it does this. Okay, so then we can trigger whatever the special functionality is. And so we can be doing let's just save this into a string. All right, and so now we can trigger the special functionality based upon whatever it is. So if special is blue key, all right, so if I'm touching something that requires the blue key, then I know that I'm on the blue lock. Okay, so blue lock. What do I want to do when I touch the blue lock? I want to open those doors. Or I want to copy the doors from layer 2 into layer 1. Now this is where you're going to need to, I mean that's what I'm wanting to do, but you could set this up as a points bonus or any kind of logic that you want in here. Now this is where things are going to get a little fiddly, and it's going to be customized for your individual map, because what I'm going to do is I want to copy these two tiles from layer 2 into layer 1. So I need to know the coordinates for all of these things that I want to change. Down here at the bottom corner of the tiled program, you can see as I'm moving about, it's got there the numbers of the row and the column of the grids. So you basically need to write these down. So here you can see that this is 47.2 and 47.3. This is 34.15 and 34.16. And this one here is 41.46 and 41.47. So you need to write those down if this is what you're wanting to do with, and then basically copy the content from layer 2 to into layer from into the first layer. So again, however, while here they're called layer 1 and layer 2, once they're in Python, they are 0 indexed. Remember that. Okay, so layer 1 is actually layer 0 here. When you're trying to do it in Python, that's the other thing that can mess you up. So I'm wanting, and so this allows me to override the tile value inside that 0 layer, and if I replace that 0 with a 1, then that's going to get me a tile value from layer 2. Yeah. So this is effectively what I want. I want one of these here. All right. So layer 0, set it to whatever is from layer 1, but instead of being tile Y and X, right, this is where I need to use the numbers that I wrote down from my grid. So for that first door, and it's the row value and then the column value. So row 15, 34, and it's coming from the same place in the other layer. So 15, 34, and if I copy and paste that line, so 16, 34, is the other part of that door. All right, and so I'll just say here, unlock middle door. And I'm just going to copy and paste this twice because I've got 3 doors. All right, so we'll set this one up for unlock end of level door and unlock the super bonus points cave door or something like that. All right, and I need to now change these locations. So this is 247 to 47. This is 347. And then this is, what was it, 46, 41. And so obviously as many doors or whatever as you want. So yeah, next video I'm going to show you how I'm going to get this teleporting to work. 47, 41, 47, 41. All right, now there's one other thing that we're going to have to do here. Let me just check that this is all right. Because the issue I think at the moment you will see is we can't see at the moment. Let's come down here. Can we see? Yeah, you can see. Oops, you can see that the door actually already looks like it's open, but we haven't collected the blue key or done anything. All right, and that's because we are still blitting we're actually blitting every layer, and so we need to change all the way back up here this blit all tiles function that we wrote a long time ago. And so we need to change it so that it only blits from the first layer instead of looping through every layer. Right, and so what I'm going to do here is instead of for every layer in TMX data and then for that layer.tiles, we're going to change that for loop to be for the tile in TMX data layers 0 tiles. All right, so that it's only going to happen for that first layer. And so now if I get rid of those 2 lines, and I can unindent that one level. And now if I come here, the doors should appear closed. All right, yep, the door looks closed to me. And now if I get my blue key, I should be able to open that door. Come on. So I collect the key. Okay, yep, that's been collected, and that is now sitting in my backpack. And so now if I come to the blue lock, come on, can't even play my own game. Can I jump up enough to check that those doors are still closed? You're going to see it in a second anyway. Okay, so I've touched the lock, and now that should have opened the doors. Yeah, and you can see that the door is now open. Okay, so next video I will show you how to teleport. This is Mr. Baumgarten signing out.